Hi, I'm Stacy Spangler. I'm a mixed media artist, and today we're going to be looking at an art journal page with acrylics. So welcome to my YouTube channel. I love it when I get feedback from my viewers, and Elizabeth had mentioned doing watercolor on music sheets. And since I don't do a lot of watercolor, I wanted to demo one with acrylics and how that can be done just as easily. I love cardinals, especially this time of the year. I've been sitting by my window lately with the snow and watching the cardinals eat the bird seeds, so I was really inspired. I do have a popular print that I sell a lot of, so I have painted cardinals in the past, but it's been a while. So like I said, drawing is not my strong point. I always have to practice when I draw, so journaling is a great place to do that. I just started here with an old vintage music sheet, and I am putting some clear gesso on it, and I'm doing that, one, to protect the page and make it, just reinforce it a little bit because it is such an old piece of paper. It is really fragile, and then it also gives it some tooth to hold the acrylic and make it a little bit stronger. So that's just one way if you're painting on watercolor and acrylics can be alike in some ways. You can water down acrylics and get some of the same effects, but the paper that you paint on is really important. And so just painting on a blank page is going to be a lot different as if you prep it like I'm doing here. So I'm going to prep this with this gesso and let it dry, and then I'll have a surface ready for acrylics. And I'm going to be starting off with a cardinal, and like I said, I've got my inspiration photo here. I always have to practice when I draw, guys. It's just something that does not come naturally to me. I don't draw a lot, and so tracing first always helps. I trace the picture, then I trace it with tracing paper, and I practice it until I can draw it on my own. Drawing small is always a lot easier than drawing large for me, but just tracing it like this helps me see the angles and just kind of not stress as much first. And so right here I'm just tracing it with some tracing paper. I did it with a pencil first, and then I'm just coming with some graphite, and I'll probably end up using this piece too, the traced piece, in my journal page, but I don't even attempt to draw it until I've practiced first. And you can see when I get ready to draw this here in a minute, I'm not happy with my drawing. But I always have to tell myself when I'm doing a journal page, normally I don't show it to anyone. First of all, I'm showing it to y'all today. And this is the only practice I did here, was to trace once. And then I drew my cardinal. Not crazy about the way it turned out, but I keep telling myself, just keep going. It's just practice. Try to enjoy the process. Try not to get hung up on the drawing. You can always make an adjustments once you paint. And the great thing about acrylics is that you can always paint over things, make adjustments. Now this is a journal page, so it's going to be a little bit different, but you can make adjustments with the paint. So I'm starting off here with this photograph. This photograph of a cardinal, and I am going to use a really limited color palette. I'm going kind of more for a realistic color palette because I did not plan this ahead of time, guys. I'm trying to show up more on YouTube just to show you my daily ins and outs and not worry about it being a perfectly completed project, and just kind of show you a little bit more of my art practice. So yeah, a lot of times it's ugly art, and it's just part of my experimentation process. So just to let myself create and not be under a lot of pressure of how it turns out. So I'm just starting out with a dark alizarin crimson here and a little bit of blue. Limited color palette. I usually start painting darker and then lighter. I do use a heavy body acrylic, so I've kind of watered it down here, and I use that graphite, so that's kind of blending into, seeing some of that darker black blend in with my colors, giving it a darker look. And then hopefully we'll get lighter as I go on. So I'm just kind of layering and working here with that first layer of paint. I do have that gesso on there, so that's kind of thickened up that paper for me and has made it so it doesn't bleed into the paper. And then I'm going to start adding up my layers. And like I said, I don't really have a plan for this. I am just painting, and that's the beauty of an art practice, is sometimes being able to do it with no pressure that anyone's going to see it. And y'all are seeing this, and I am not happy with this bird at this point. His shape's not right, but I'm just going to keep going with it. I have to keep telling myself at this point, like, keep going, because I really, really want to quit, because my bird is not how I want him to look. But I know that there's more layers, and I can end up using this in something else. I might paint over it. Who knows what I'm going to do with it. But I'm going to keep adding to my little bird here. So I'm going to let you watch me paint for a little bit, and then we'll come to the point where I'm going to put it onto another journal page. So here's my finished bird, and I'm still not real happy about the shape of his back, but at this point I'm just going to use him. It's just a journal page. I've learned from it. I think that's the thing. When you practice, you learn how to do it better next time. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually painted cardinals, but I promise you, if you were to paint a cardinal, or if I were to paint this every day for 7 days, I could do it and it would look so much better. And this is one thing I like about having that tracing paper, is that I'm tracing it again here, but I can always lay it over my original, or my painted design, my freehand design, and kind of see which angles I got wrong, and use that as a learning tool. So just practicing there really helps too. So now I'm just I've got another music book here that I've made into a journal, and I'm just gonna have fun playing and pick up and put this into my journal, and just kind of create a page around it. I was thinking I might do some journaling, actually writing in there, so I don't know how I'm going to incorporate that yet, but I'll let you watch and you can just kind of see how it turns out. And thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe, leave a comment. That always helps me so much. And I always love your input. So if there's something you'd like to see me do or just try, send me an email or send me a message on here, and I'll try to play around with it sometime and record it and show it to you here on YouTube. So thank you always for great suggestions, and thank you for joining me.